You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping packages. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she happy. Poke on that pussy shit like it's a top in it. We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie, 'cause I ain't capping it.
Welcome back to the DNA podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
This week, it's part 5 in our series of the retrospective of Naruto. And it feels like it's never ending.
I guess we're not even like half of the way done.
To put this in perspective, we haven't even touched none of my favorite parts.
We're getting to where it's starting to get good.
Yeah. So I feel like once we get to our good parts, like I can already guarantee this. I'm probably going to dedicate an episode to Rock Lee versus Gar. I love that shit. I can talk about that shit forever.
I would say a half an episode.
And it's still like, there's so much more stuff to talk about after. But last episode, we left off with Sasuke destroying, I think his name was Zaku. Destroying Zaku's arms and Gar eliminating background characters.
Yeah.
And talking shit to his siblings. So, yeah. As I mentioned before, we get into the parts of the Forest of Death where I find it the least entertaining.
I think it just did foreshadowing. This part of it was to foreshadow what was going to happen later on in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And give a little bit more background to people's characters and that kind of stuff.
And you need it. Like, you need it in a show, especially as long as Naruto. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make it good. You need it, and I'm not knocking it because you need the information, but it doesn't make it, ooh, yeah, this shit's amazing then. No.
I think it's one of those things that it's better the more you watch it because you see how they foreshadowed stuff, but
True.
It's definitely not like the most interesting part of the...
If you're not rewatching this series, you're not ever going to go back in.
Yeah, you're not going to go back and watch a clip of this.
Yeah. So, right after all the events, they say their goodbyes to the other Leaf Ganin. And we see people open their scrolls prematurely, like how they're not supposed to. Team 7 is about to open their scroll prematurely, and Kabuto stops them. That's when we run back into little nerdy Kabuto.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it now. It was always something about Kabuto I didn't like. Rewatching it, bro, why are you poor? Why do you got rags on when everybody else is decked out and shit?
Rags?
Well, like, his first outfit, like that purplish looking thing or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of... I just figured that was just his look. I don't know. I guess I never paid attention to it. I just figured... I thought he was a background character when I first saw him. So I was like, for me, I was like, oh, he's just a regular ass nigga.
And so I did think the same, and that's why I didn't think nothing of it. Because we first saw him when he was getting beat up by Dosu at the exams.
Mm-hmm.
But like when he became more of a focal character, couldn't have fucking dressed this nigga up a little bit. You couldn't have a...
Well, also, yeah, I think he's supposed to be he's supposed to be like a spy. So why would you put a spy in nice clothes?
I mean, true, but...
Because you want him to blend into the background.
But the best way to blend in is to fucking to stick out. Nobody ever think, oh, that nigga's a fucking spy.
I don't think so. I think that's really suspicious if you don't have no backstory. Now you have to put a whole backstory how he has money to pay for shit.
Not even money, just like if you even though Lee gets a lot of flack, which I do admit it does look funny. He is in a fucking jumpsuit, but like it has a little bit of something to it. We don't think they rich. Naruto's fucking. I always thought Naruto and Lee was wearing the same thing, just different colors. So it kind of tricked me out that people were shitting on Lee. But Naruto got a 2-piece.
Yeah, he's a top and a bottom.
2-piece. But like that shit's saucy. Like it was be like it's decked out, even though that hell, how much money could that nigga really have? He's an orphan.
He gets money from the Hokage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they give him a poverty fund.
I thought he stole that money.
Nah, he gets like a little bit of money every month, and then he makes money from being a ninja.
When he became a ninja,
yeah, when he
he
became
started
ninja,
making money.
Extra money.
So like when you see Kabuto, so after hell, fuck it, I'm gonna show you now. Just to put in perspective, like it looks raggy. It looks like this is medieval times and he's the poor people.
I don't think that's, but it just makes sense to me. If you're trying to make him be a spy, it makes sense to make him a spy.
Man, that don't look raggy to you.
No, it's pretty normal.
Man, that motherfucker look like a villager.
He's supposed to.
No, that's where you're wrong. He's not supposed to be a villager. He's a ninja.
He's supposed to. He's a bumpy ninja. He failed 3 times. He's supposed to look bad.
Oh man, I didn't expect for him to be what he became, but I knew that nigga couldn't be trusted when we seen him.
That's just the wrong reasons. He just gave you weirdo vibes.
In anime, nothing is done without reason. Man, they knew what they did when they dressed that nigga up. He dressed like a villain.
They dressed him like a background character because he's supposed to throw you off.
So we see that nigga all chummy. Another red flag.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is suspicious.
Bro, we supposed to be trying to kill each other. Did you fail this shit 3 times? You have even more incentive to kill us. I mean, if I was doing it my 4th time, I would think, no, not again. Not again. Not with this crazy shit.
You made the divorce to death 3 times, 4 times.
You just like this shit. You just chilling. You must come to find out he does like this shit. But they go
enjoys killing niggas.
They go on their way. I don't even know the name of this villain. The villain that could phase through the ground. The little slug nigga. Never knew their names.
I know they're from the village hidden in the rain or the mist or one of those. Not the rain, because that's it's the mist village, I think.
No, the mist is where.
So the rain.
Yeah, I'm about to say the mist is where.
Because they were water clones, I do believe.
Oh, those water clones.
I think so.
And so
if I'm remembering correctly, because they and later on in the series they find them again.
Yeah.
And they're fighting them again, and they were all water clones. So I'm pretty sure. Think they're all
water clones.
Water clones.
So we see the first one. Naruto pretty much just decks the nigga. Like it's. I'm skipping over this quickly because there isn't too much.
It's filler
to say about it until we get to when he links back up with his homeboys, and I'm gonna go with water. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just dead ass can't remember it super clearly. Mind you, rewatched it, still can't remember it. How much I dislike it.
I won't say dislike it, just don't like it that much.
All the water clones. Naruto goes in head first with all his clones, and they're getting washed. They can't tell it's clones, and key point: Sasuke can't use his Sharingan because of the curse mark.
Because of the curse.
So, it added some suspense. Not too much, because like these villains look like background villains. Like, you're not losing to the background villains. Well, the show is named after you anyway. You're not losing.
Well, I can see him losing as like a build, like to build his character. At this point, I've watched enough anime to know that. But like take an L and you come back, train for 3 years, come back. But not to no background characters.
These are literal background characters.
You're not even like the B villain. You're like Z villain.
You're just something to space out in between the real action.
Yeah, you can't no chance.
So they take these niggas out with the help of Kabuto. Something happened that I never noticed my first watch through when good buddy knocked his glasses off. I think sliced him across the face, and his bloodlust kicked in. Mm-hmm. Never remembered seeing it.
Yeah. His eyes turned red.
Bro, I never seen that up until this point. Whoa, that was a very foreshadowing.
Yeah. That's the point of these episodes. I was like, oh yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh. There's something more to him. I thought he was just a weirdo.
And so Naruto comes in and knocks him out of frame. And so he even says it, well, good thing I didn't get in. I think he says, good thing I didn't kill him and blow my cover. Mm-hmm. Well, shits. Damn, good buddy, you like that?
I think he says it in his head.
Yeah, he says it in his head. And so they get the scroll and go on their way. Also, you can tell Kabuto was a bad guy because his homeboys was bad guys. Now, I know you are randomly paired, but if the two niggas you roll with are bad, what's the chances of you being a good guy? And like, don't get me wrong, they were background characters, but like the way their eyes was drawn and their demeanor, oh, well, those aren't the...
This is the rest of the Leaf Village.
Yeah. Like, we literally just seen the rest of the Leaf Village niggas. They are not, they're not any of them.
My thing is, like, who is their sensei?
Orochimaru.
No. So, like, they have to have a cover sensei.
So, I don't know.
Because they weren't sound ninjas. They were leaf ninjas. They were, all three of them were undercover. So, who was their assigned sensei? Plot holes.
You know, I never thought of it because they did. No, so Kabuto did ended up dropping off out the second part.
Mm-hmm. And you don't see another leaf. It's plot holes.
Yeah, because I said Orochimaru, but no, yeah, he was the sound. I was like, yeah, Orochimaru in disguise. Mm-hmm. No, he was the sound village. So there's a lot of plot holes, and since we're here, where I get, how the hell did they not know that was Orochimaru? Not based off of the looks, based off of, I didn't like background check these niggas. There's no like when he was right in front of everybody. Like, so y'all didn't know this random person's name.
You talking about when he took the person's face?
No, so they get the scroll, they go into the building, mm-hmm. So that then they go through the little shit or whatever. I'm skipping past a lot because it's not worth a damn. Mm-hmm. And so when all the Genin arrive, all the senseis are there, mm-hmm. And the senseis go with the Genin up around. Mm-hmm. Orochimaru's there the whole time, and it's like I know he's in disguise.
I just assume he took somebody's face.
Oh,
that's just we already seen that he can do that, so I assume that's what he did.
I was about to say, like, I know he's in disguise, and I know that this is a village, but it's just like, did y'all? And it would make sense what you're saying. It's going to make as much sense as it can. Mm-hmm. Because, like, so y'all didn't talk with this Joker beforehand. Y'all didn't see him beforehand. Did he just appear now? Is none of this suspicious? See y'all all in front of the third Hokage's ass. Like,
well, the third knew that he was there.
He did?
Yeah, the third knew. By then they had known that Orochimaru was at the was in the tuning exams.
Okay, so I knew that he was there, mm-hmm. But he knew that he was in the building.
I mean, I think you would have to assume. I would assume.
That's what I think the plot hole is. I don't think he assumed. Because, fuck it. Well, let's get past this and I'll get back to that point. Mm-hmm. So we get to the tournament phase, which is my favorite phase of all of this.
It's always the best arcs of any anime.
Sauske draws against Kabuto henchman number 1. Don't know them niggas' names.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't help that the names is in Japanese either when they popped up on the, when they did the randomization.
It was.
Yes, it didn't help that. Mm-hmm. So it's like I was never gonna know the name now anyway.
Sasuke went first, right?
Yeah.
First one to go.
And so he goes against Good Buddy. And it's a pretty standard fight. We've seen what Sharingan can do for Sasuke. He mimics Lee's skills. Well, they made such a big deal. I guess it is mimicking. He did literally the first step to the primary lotus. Mm-hmm. And then the dance, I think it's called the dancing leaf shadow. Man, that wasn't a whole lot of damn mimicking, goddammit. I mean,
but at that point, it's all he has seen, right?
True. But it's like that nigga launched him in the air. Congratulations.
I mean, I kind of get it, though.
And so...
It probably took Lee years to master that shit.
I'm not going to hold you. After seeing Naruto do his own variation of it, I do not want to try to put that on Lee. That it took him years.
Well, he also was bad, so... Here's the thing, Lee is very untalented.
True. I'm about to say, this nigga Naruto literally, he seen Sasuke do something. He was like, you know what? I'm about to fucking put my own spin onto it. No, it should... This nigga Naruto put his own spin on something. He learned and processed it quickly on the fights. And so he finishes off with a Lion Barrage. And that's when Kakashi takes him to wherever the fuck he took him. It was kind of
it was like the basement.
Oh, it was the basement.
I get like that's I either it was like a back room or I said it was the basement because it was like dark and dingy.
Yeah, like it was a really weird location.
But
it was random.
I think it kind of make if I had to do some like secret shit, I would take you somewhere
Secret.
Yeah.
And so it's when this guy dips out. Right here is when Orochimaru shows. So I know that they don't know it's Orochimaru because the Kakashi is utterly shocked that the guy was him. So that goes into my point of nobody in that room.
So they knew that Orochimaru was present
somewhere.
They just didn't know
he was in the room.
In the room with them. Yeah.
And that's when I was going to be like, so when Kakashi dipped, everybody knew why he dipped. He dipped to fucking
the seal.
Put the curse mark seal. Nobody else seen this nigga dip out at the same time. Mind you, these are all the top Jonin. We can assume in the village, because they're all main characters. There's Asuma, the third Hokage, Kurenai.
But you guys gotta think, maybe he just put a substitution there, or made a clone, or
nigga's not there. He's not. I know for fact. Seeing like,
well, he is a Sonic, so maybe his ninja skills are just that good.
This nigga done dipped on out. Nobody's seen it. Like, I know that they're, Kakashi's gonna relay this message to him, but man, y'all niggas had to drop on these niggas. I know that nigga is like that, but with the third Hokage, Anko, bunch of the Proctors, all y'all's Jonin.
I thought Anko was beat the fuck up at that point.
She still made it there.
She made it there?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that. Okay.
I hope Orochimaru can't take that home. All y'all niggas get the drop on him. I could be wrong.
I think with all them versus Orochimaru gets washed.
In my heart of hearts, I believe that. But I hope he doesn't take that home.
But I mean, if he wasn't worried about getting washed like that, he would just walk in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all a game to him. Like, at this point, he was just evaluating Sasuke. Because the curse mark could have easily killed him. And so, like, the what you just said, him walking in and just being that nigga, for what reason? Like, the nigga I came here for, not even worth a damn. And so, like, that's what I looked at it like, oh, this nigga just bullshit. He's just...
It's a bold motherfucker.
And then he just leaves, which Kakashi sees him rip his face off. And I know that everything they do is tactical, so they're not going to frighten too many people. So wouldn't you think the Jonin of the fucking village that y'all never heard of, y'all gonna keep letting these niggas compete?
Because they have to keep up an illusion.
The charade of like, we don't know.
Nothing's wrong.
Yeah. But like, literally, we know for facts, literally half the people here know it's wrong. Not even just Jonin. Shikamaru squad knows there's something off with them niggas. Fucking Neji and Rock Lee squad knows something off with them niggas. We know, like, Team 7 know that they're after Sasuke. I'm giving them the benefit of doubt that everybody doesn't know they're directly after Sasuke. But more than half the people there know that there's something off about these niggas. Like, y'all should kill them niggas. But I will give it up to them just playing it coy. But that's one of the reasons why I hate the third Hokage. I think he's weak because he just played it coy too much.
I think he had gotten complacent in his old age.
True. I was about to say,
I think that's really what it was.
Because just like what I said, like, now that I'm thinking about it, even if you take away the fact of Orochimaru, like, it was just there, bro, once we get this information back that they're literally trying to abduct somebody, and at this point we know it's for Orochimaru because they've said that they're trying to take Sasuke to him, and you didn't do anything just for the sake of not causing a panic.
But they think about their bottom line. It's all about the money, right? Because the thing is to make they can't call off the
tuning
exams because that's where all the other nations come to see your ninjas. So, like, if they did that, the village wouldn't survive.
I never thought of calling it off, but, like, bro, trap them niggas. Like, this isn't even a, you know how sometimes you look at stuff and it's like, oh, hindsight's a motherfucker. I always thought it then of just like, wait, so did the events in the forest not happen? Oh, all these ninjas are, you know, monitoring the whole forest and monitoring everybody, and they just nobody's gonna fucking mention it. We're not gonna mention it no more. Like, them niggas didn't try to abduct Sasuke. That shit ain't happened.
Plot holes.
But what the fuck was the second match?
10-10 versus wasn't it 10-10 versus Fangirl?
Tamari. It's no way that was the second.
I thought it was like it was. Yeah, I think it was something like that. Or maybe it was the bug guy.
Of course. If shit ain't coming up, I'm just gonna have to edit this shit out. Of course, Naruto Shippuden's fucking tuning exams arc pop up first. Give me that real shit. Give me the OG, goddammit. But
I forgot that the tuning exam arc for Naruto.
Bro, I think they're at their second one. I think there's been 2 in that damn thing.
In Naruto Shippuden?
Yeah. Okay, so
because yeah. Okay.
First guy to fight Sasuke's name was Yori.
Mm-hmm.
And knocked out something. Yep. Match number 2 was Shino versus Zaku.
Okay. That's the sound guy, right?
Yeah, the one that Sasuke crushed his arms. Mm-hmm. Unpopular opinion, I think Shino's the most unfuckable character in Naruto.
You mean unfuckable with? Or
yeah,
unfuckable like?
With, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see it more and more, but his abilities are so fleshed out and we know what he can do. He's written out of every big situation. Mm-hmm. Just because he's just so goddamn OP.
He's OP as fuck.
Yeah, like there's just no way to fit him in. And you can't really kill him off because you would have to severely plot armor whoever kills him off.
I think there's ways to beat him in like Shippuden.
Especially now, like now in Shippuden when they're fucking, you know, niggas went from fighting gangbanging ninjas to the leader of the ninjas to guys. Like we done jumped up a whole lot.
I think someone from the Akatsuki could kill him. For sure, I think, not without question, but
even though he's fleshed out, we still don't know what much he could do. Just because, like,
I just don't think he has the tools to really beat him.
I don't think he's like that, but just a little bit of that he showed with the bug. So in this fight, bro, that shit. With me, I was like, bro, what's good is the bugs are doing shit. You gonna feel him crawl? This nigga done plugged up this nigga's holes with whole bugs, and he never felt that shit. So for me seeing that, well, damn, bro, you could literally infest niggas and they will never know. Mm-hmm. I like the Lazaku backstory that I knew he was gonna lose when the backstory played and Orochimaru was like a father figure to him. Love it. I'm not gonna skip over this. I was gonna speak fast. I love that they showed why these people are loyal to Orochimaru in their own subtle way. Like, you know, like going down through the series, we'll see. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, like. At first, I was like, why are you loyal to that motherfucker? That nigga weird. He's probably doing experiments on y'all.
He definitely is.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, he took bottom of the barrel people and gave them a purpose, which you see in regular life. You see with politicians, religion, government. They do it all the same. They take people with really no hope.
Give them some hope.
And they become loyal forever. So I actually really like that scene. It's super powerful, but you can really miss it as just, oh, this nigga's a little backstory or whatever. Cool, whatever.
But you know a character is about to lose when they give them a backstory.
if they are not the main character, it's
over for them.
It's a weird trope that I kind of wish anime would get away from. I know we need the like, I'm not saying I didn't like the background, but it's literally a trope. Like, we know once you see that shit, that nigga ain't taking that home. He about to catch that L. And it's I don't even know what to call that trope. Like, I know there has to be a name for it, but I'm not going to hold you. It's kind of spoiled anime for me. Like, when I see it, oh, shit. He's going to die. But he had a like. If this is his last scene, which it was, until he got sacrificed, he gave it a lot of heart. Nigga had broken arms, wasn't supposed to use one, used both, and he was gonna blast that nigga into oblivion. He tried. His power itself was kind of lame, so it was like yeah, it makes. They gave him an OP power for Ganin, which was good. Man, looking back at it, even if he would have lived. What the fuck you gonna do with that? Niggas move at the speed of light.
Yeah, if you're moving at the speed of light, it's way faster than sound.
If Rock Lee would have dropped them weights, you would have got fucking decked. Like
it would have been over.
Yeah, you're like you can.
Y'all would have died. You would have died in the forest.
You can only shoot in a straight line. So regardless if you want to say like this, you can only shoot in those straight lines, meaning that you have a whole weak spot still. Like so. Like, it made sense why he lost. Like, that ability sucked. It was a rough tuning exam for him. Good buddy got washed. We saw Shino. I liked it. It was a good filler match for what it was.
Yeah.
Next up, Kankuro versus the other Kabuto nigga.
Okay, and Kankuro I don't really remember this fight.
It's the nigga, the other Kabuto nigga, he stretches. So he stretched around Kankuro and he broke his neck.
But that was the puppet. And yeah, that's when we figured out he used puppets.
Yep, and the puppet crushed that nigga in general. I liked it. I think plot armor. Naruto's nothing but plot armor. And I say that lovingly because I watch the shit. But like Dragon Ball Z plot armor, at least some niggas get strong. You see them get strong. You telling me that nigga was walking around in that case the whole time? But that's just the plot armor we gotta accept. Cause like no, he just switched in there. He just switched in there before the fight. When the hell did he switch?
I don't know. The game making ninjas food. Who knows?
It is like it was a great idea. It's just just the plot error of how long was that nigga wrapped up in the jump? He could have been in it for the whole forest to death, for all we know. But
that would have kept him safe. Yeah,
it would have been his armor, his defense. At that point, I liked it. This is before I started hating puppets in Naruto. I didn't start hating puppets in Naruto till Shippuden. I was like, damn, bro, these niggas. This nigga controls sand. This nigga got a fucking body double. What the fuck are these niggas, bro? What?
I think his power was pretty OP. Like, puppets are pretty OP from just like a one-on-one kind of fight.
Yeah.
Especially like early on in the series. And I guess even later on in the series. If against regular niggas.
Yeah. And it was just like, I remember seeing the thing. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that shit? Like this nigga has weapons. Well, I guess they all got weapons, but this nigga got a whole fucking tank, basically.
An armory. Fucking.
And so, always called him Discount Batman too. I swear to God, that's what that nigga looked like.
I guess.
Fight wasn't pretty worth a damn.
It was alright.
I think this is one of the 3 times I actually see Kankuro fight.
You only see him fight a few times. It's not really.
It's like I know for facts it's less than a handful. Mm-hmm. But I mean, how much mileage can you get out of puppets? Yeah. that is one of those things reserved to. The less you see it, the more impact it has in your heads. Yeah. The first big fights, Sakura versus Ino. I hated the fight growing up.
Hate it a little less now?
I hate it a little less. I will not say I like it, but I do hate it less. It's a weird thing to me. It was. I don't think the backstory was necessary here. It was a lot of talking for so little hands to be thrown. And they had the nerve to knock each other out. That's not what I'm mad at. The backstory was great, but I always assumed Ino was going to be a reoccurring character down the line. We could have just had the backstory later on. This took up like fucking 4 episodes.
Yeah, I think this was their strategy to make you like Sakura and Ino. And like
Backfire.
Yeah. I think this was that strategy to make you like them, and also it's supposed to give you like where the rivalry came from, and like I get the purpose. I don't think it should have been 4 episodes. This could have been a 2-episode thing
Easily, and just because of the fighting wasn't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it take away the bullshit of like, oh, put it in real time or whatever. Just in their time. If you just take away the cutscenes, they fought for like 5 minutes. Like, dead ass. The fight is Ino taking over Sakura's body with her mind transfer jutsu. She's going to get her to quit. I think that's just the weakest strategy ever. Like, I feel like if she even went through with that plan, they wasn't going to allow it.
I think they would have allowed it
In a weird space, and this is me after the fact thinking of it. Bro, why don't I disqualify you? I seen you take over her mind. I don't.
I think it would have made more sense if they had like a bear, like you know how in My Hero Academia in the sports festival arc, if you got knocked out the thing or sit outside the boundary,
That would have made super sense.
If she took over her mind and made it walk outside the boundary, that would have been like, oh yeah, that's that makes sense.
I would have liked that. That's like, am I just overthinking it? But is it just kind of weird?
Yeah, I could see how like, well, I mean, you really didn't beat her, huh?
Or like not even just that. Like we seen you take over her mind, and you called for a quit. Well, you quit then. I am just like you quit. I know you took over her mind. Well, that's plot there, but another plot armor, which didn't really see it growing up. Oh, the motherfucking somehow Sakura's the one true nigga to break that bitch off willpower. You don't see nobody else moving forward in this show get out of that damn jutsu.
The 2 fat niggas. The 2.
Oh, they broke out of the prison.
Yeah, the 2. He was able to fight her back on it.
Oh yeah.
So I think it is possible. You just have to be. I think you just have to be really smart or really dumb.
You have to be on a. One aspect of Sakura that I hate that they got rid of, I like the inner Sakura, so I guess that was the plot armor there, that she had inner Sakura. I'm kind of sad that they scrapped it in Naruto Shippuden, because like that gave her at least something. Like
it's
they gave
a character.
her, yeah. Like it was. I found it funny, maybe because I like senseless little childish jokes, but like she was funny. She was funny that way.
So, you know what? Yeah, it kind of has a point. You're wrong, Naruto.
And it was like, Naruto, that's so stupid. Yeah, Naruto, you my guy. Like I like that shit. And that's what booted Ino out. Ino was even like, what the hell was that? So like, I think it's just odd that they scrapped. They literally scrapped the plot armor.
Made her brain unhackable. Holy shit.
And so like literally after that, Ino cuts her hair off, and they get into like this they get into a little boxing match. You know, they throw in their hands, but literally when they first connect, they knock each other out. That's like, so the first contact they both got was a knockdown. I give it high marks. If this was real life, I'm like, yeah, bro, they were bobbing and weaving. Boop, boop. It takes a lot of skill to do that, bro. You can't fall on the first hit. Ooh, and you damn sure can't fall in unison after the first hit. I do like it. Most Sakura not stands, but haters will hate it just because they hate everything she do. I don't hate it. It's just
not good.
An average person and I think a Sakura stan would have a hard time really justifying they like it.
Mm-hmm. I think a Sakura stan would have a hard time justifying them liking Sakura.
True. True. I've seen some stans, and their main point is No shit, she can't keep up with the nigga with the freaky powers from her eye and the nigga with the fox. But them other niggas she washed later on. Huh? Well, yeah.
Yeah. She literally is one of the strongest ninjas in the village by end of Shippuden, but like,
of course, compared to the two fucking Destiny brothers over here,
they're literally the reincarnations
of course we ain't fucking keeping up with these niggas
of the original ninjas. Like,
I thought the least they could have done is made up a weak ass backstory for her to have something. You literally, like where we are now, they are literal gods. I am just a mortal trying to keep up. That's literally setting me up for failure not to do. Like every day I'm like, I don't know, damn goddess of the forest or something. Like,
well, I guess they did make her like the best medical ninja ever. Yeah. So that is something. But like,
or like somebody even pointed out, was like, yeah, if you take her and her prime and Tsunade against her, she's washing Tsunade with no problem. Yeah, you're right. Just the scale just keeps going up. Like once Sakura hits that level, the new high just jumps up on her.
I think Naruto does have a problem with power scaling.
I'm gonna put it out there now. They've reached Dragon Ball Z problems. This is what happens when you bring aliens not from Earth, because you break the power scale. Dragon Ball had no power scale issues. Why? Everything was on Earth. When did the power scale get broken? When the Saiyans came to Earth. That's literally like, and from there, you're just playing catch up, but then you would have to write a whole arc for the side characters to catch up. So, like, this is a tangent, but, so, like, when Nappa killed all of them, he literally killed their involvement in the show. They never caught back up after Nappa killed them, because they went through the whole Namek arc and shit, then brought them back. Like, that's literally, like, the problem with shit. So in Naruto Shippuden, it's literally in that space. Naruto, Boruto, his team 7, and Sasuke's in space fighting. I think Sakura's with them. It's no chance for like Rock Lee, Shino. What chance? Like we don't even get to see these niggas. Y'all gonna come back, battle these niggas. Some niggas died and came back to life. Whole different niggas, and we're just here. like that's when the gaps in shows happen, and you got to work harder to fucking catch the other characters up. But who's gonna do that for side characters?
I think you only do that if you want them to be your get out of dodge card. Like he's been training this whole time. He found some secret scroll. You know what I'm saying? And then like he comes and saves you at the end somehow. But usually characters like that they end up killing. So
true. I really hated this is the last time I'm gonna get off track on Dragon Ball Z. And that's why I hated the Tournament of Power. So you telling me that all these characters who you deemed worthless for so many years are now fucking deadly enough to take on niggas who can take on Goku and Vegeta and Blue. So you're telling me by equivalence they have worked their way up.
But I guess it kind of makes you like the characters in a weird way, because like in Dragon Ball Z, you working, like you training will eventually get you stronger. There's no real cap to your strength level, right? And like in other shows, there's a definitive cap. Some people might be limitless, but for the most part, you have a potential and you can reach it.
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball Z, you have no potential. You just have to put the work in.
It's always execution, and that's why it matters. That's why I controversially say I think the first Naruto is better than Shippuden, because there is no that is the case. If you work hard, you're gonna see results out of it. Like people like Rock Lee that literally had no talent could work hard and be better than somebody like Sasuke who had all the natural talent. But when you get to Shippuden where we're at, like this is no bullshit. Unless he opens all 8 inner gates, he's not beating a guy with Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Rinnegan, this, that. Like he's just, there's literally nothing he can do anymore. There's no hard work you could put in anymore. And that started at the start of the war. the start of the wars when everything really
Yeah.
crapped out on everybody. But yeah, that was a weird tangent on Sakura's
Yeah,
use.
It was important, I think.
It's worthwhile, meaning that the Sakura stands, y'all have a reason to like her. It's a really small reason, but it's a reason nonetheless.
I do think Sakura could have been a way better character, and if they ever, I don't think they should, but if they ever reboot Naruto and retell the story, they should rework her character.
I told you how I feel. It's small. Like,
She should have better character development.
it's small instances where I just think you just didn't need to do it. She should have beat Ino. Like, if she's your third in the squad, which that's what she ended up becoming in Shippuden, that's what they made her work hard to be, she doesn't need to be even with Ino. We know that's why they did it, to show that they were equals, but you did not
Need to
do that. Like, that's
Yeah.
that's a weird it's a weird glaring flaw that you want her to keep up with Sasuke and Naruto, but still be equal to somebody that will never keep up with Sasuke and Naruto.
She, Ino's not even in the same class as her own teammates.
Yeah, so,
And it's blatantly obvious that she's outclassed by her teammates.
yeah. So like those small things, I always told you, they just made Sasuke a little bit too smart. I think Sakura is a perfect character. They just made other things.
I think what it was, I think they could have kept Sasuke the same amount of smart. They didn't show off that Sakura is way smarter than him.
True.
And I think in the manga, it highlights it better, but in the anime, it did not translate as well.
Yeah. Some of the scenes are there, but of course in manga you do have more talking scenes. She should have just been more. She should have filled a more Ino role, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that would make Sakura a better character. That's one of the points in the show. If they just have her win here, I think that elevates her so much.
It shows that she's at least better than most of these niggas.
Yeah, like at least you could honestly say at the start of the series to damn near the end that she's useless. Like you can, honest God, make a case for it. This doesn't help the case. She can't even win against Ino, which makes her useless.
And you see Ino become more and more useful throughout the series. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
and she does it to follow Sakura because she sees Sakura getting better. But that's just that weird thing of like how you come up with ways to change your character around. I don't even need to change the character. I just need to change specific moments.
yeah, just you have to have something to make you like her.
Yeah, like, and this would change a lot of stuff. But for me, it's like, if she was to win here, who else going forward could she actually face? I guess I would say Tamari. Tamari's the least of the OP people left in the second part of the tuning exams, and give us a banger there. Like
I don't think we would have got a banger. I think we would have got her washed.
I mean, true, but if we put forth the effort to see her get to part 2, we at least should see something we like.
True.
See something more. This gives her the opportunity to see more. Guess what? Since she tied, she's in the fucking bleachers. How much more can you say I don't care about a character than to put them in the bleachers? You literally put them on the sidelines with the fucking B and C tier characters. So looking like, of course, going, knowing the whole series, yeah, I did think it was kind of weak. I thought it was weak then that it ended in a tie, but I really think
It was weak now.
it's weak now. Just because, like, I like Sakura. I'm not a stan, but it's like, I think there's always the extremes. I don't think she's useless. I don't think she's the greatest, but I like her. I just think the creator just dropped the ball a few times with her.
I think he was so focused on everybody else's development that he let that. He kept her in there for the storyline because she is kind of a driving part of the storyline in a way, but as the love interest, I guess. But if I think you're gonna have somebody in the storyline, you should develop them and have them be a actual character
and have them get meaningful wins.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, don't hate the fight, don't love the fight, but I do hate the outcome. I can say that I do hate. Yeah, and my main issue also with this backstory. I don't have an issue with the backstory. I think it's a perfectly fine backstory based off of two girls who grew up in the Leaf Village. And they showed the damn backstory like 6 other times through the series. Mm-hmm. So what you
waters it down.
Yeah, what you're telling me is it wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
now
definitely waters it down.
Yeah, so we could have just had the fight be an episode. Shit's only an episode. We could have the fight be an episode, and then get the backstory down the line. So yeah, that's my only issue. If somebody told me you watched the fight for the backstory, so what the fuck did I watch the shit multiple times before this? That means the fight isn't necessary. But that's all my issue. That's our first major fight because well, it's the longest fight up until this part, like dead ass.
And it's only because Sakura is considered a main character. Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
The next match, one of my favorites, Tamari versus 10-10. I love Tamari's how you build up a badass character.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I felt bad for 10-10. I was like, damn, she doing her fucking best.
And it's kind of fucked up because, hell, now that I thought about it, I just thought about this on the spot. Guys getting are probably 3 of the top 10 people there, but they keep getting matched up.
Bad matches.
With bad match. So Rock Lee loses to Gara, the only nigga he could lose to, literally. Neji loses to...
Especially with no weights.
Yeah, like, literally the only nigga who has a chance. I get matched up with him first. Neji gets matched up with Naruto. I guess outside of Gara, who the fuck beating that 360-degree rotation? Who's beating his impenetrable defense? Of course, the nigga with the fox spirit got him beat. And 10-10.
The main character.
10-10 specializes in ranged attacks. Her fucking first opponent is the bitch who specializes in
ranged attacks. But I guess 10-10 does have ranged abilities, like, you know, like she can throw kunai and like throw weapons.
And I thought that Dragon Scroll thing was kind of cool. I mean,
yeah.
Up until what we've seen with, you know, Kakashi, Shidori, we've seen this, that. I guess it's not as cool, but I thought it was pretty.
It's solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would be remorse if I didn't bring this up. 10-10 gets less screen time than the goddamn swing that Naruto's always sitting on.
Chill the hell out.
And I think that's an issue.
You want to know what's even funnier? 10-10 wasn't even her real name. Her real name was 2020 until she met Tamari and got split in half.
Shut the fuck up. It took me a hot second to get that. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Her name's been 10-10. Oh.
I like 10-10. She had a lot of mouth. The fight did it for me. I'm a wrestling fan. I know that you have to, in wrestling, when they book matches, every match can't be 20 minutes. The fans going to get disengaged. Mm-hmm. In between your 20-minute matches, you need your in-between fillers. Your short ones to really... I like it. Tamari showed off her stuff. She talked shit. 10-10 used to what we believe is the most of her abilities.
Up to that point, this is it.
There wasn't no talking behind it. They had no history. The bitch is probably 5-6 minutes max. It made me like, damn, that Tamari like that. At that point, it made me think, how the fuck Naruto's supposed to beat these Saiyan ninjas? He can't beat none of them.
Especially at that point, I was like, only way he beats them if he lets the fox out.
Yeah. And it's like, even then I thought, well, I guess the puppet nigga's low tier, but he still washes them. This bitch shoots fucking razor blades of wind.
Yeah.
Well, we know what that's saying, nigga, freaky. And so it accomplishes goal, and it makes me think, damn, the main character can't even beat that nigga, bro. Can't even beat her, who's not even the best on her team. So I loved it. I loved when she tossed 10-10 off the fan to Rock Lee. It's pretty much like, man, get this trash on up out of here. And she blocks Rock Lee's kick. And it was great foreshadowing, I guess, of what Rock Lee is capable of. Like, man, she blocked that bitch. I'm not gonna hold you. At this point, I'm not the hugest Rock Lee fan. At this point, I'm not a huge fan whatsoever. I just kind of like him. Man, this nigga got beat by them sound niggas. This bitch just blocked this nigga's kick and laughing at him. What good is this nigga, bro? Given the material we were given, how am I supposed to like him?
I think that was done on purpose.
Yeah, like that's the point for us, just to like what he does in his fight when we get there. It's supposed to make you think, oh well,
I see why I like this nigga.
Yeah, that motherfucker, he's that boy. But yeah, Tamari 10-10, not too much to say. I like it. You like it?
Yeah, good fight.
It served its purpose.
Next is Naruto, right?
Nope. The next is Shikamaru versus, her name is Ken from the Sound Village.
Oh.
The one with the thread that fucked up his inner ear.
I don't remember this fight at all.
So it's Shikamaru goes against the girl from the Sound Village, and so she throw kunai at him, and he dodges every single one of them. But those kunai have bells, and she has a string, and it throws off his equilibrium.
Oh, I think I remember this now.
And so he uses the shadow of the string
to
yeah,
catch her.
And so I'm not gonna lie, I thought Shikamaru was black. In the black community, we claim him because the nigga got nappy hair, bro. The nigga was in fishnets and nappy hair. I don't see too many Asian people like that. I just so I thought he was black, but I'm watching. Man, they done sold the brother out. They done whooped this nigga's ass off of nothing. And so he does his shadow possession on the little joint, and he takes control. And it's like, all right, cool. You took control over. What's next? What's
what now?
What do you do with that? Like what I told you, it's a party trick. What do you do with that shit? Well, we're in a tournament style. Even if you were in like life or death, what?
Yeah. So I think, and they definitely do this because like Shikamaru's power wasn't very offensive. It's offensively defensive. If that makes sense. He has to attack you with it, but it doesn't really have any like you can't. In theory, you can't kill anybody. And like later in the series, you see it become more of a offensive power.
I think he even said that this was just made for stall missions. Like this was just developed just to kill time. So what the fuck are you doing? You're killing time, my God. It was the smartest. I think up until this point, in anime in general, I haven't watched Death Note. I guess most of my anime was like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Pokemon. I think this was the smartest thing I've seen in anime, weirdly, when he took out his shuriken, and she took out hers, and it was like, dummy, if you tossed it at me, I'm gonna toss it at you. And he's just like, yeah, let's play a game of chicken. And then she was like, this nigga crazy. And he just, boom. Oh, he got her mind off the wall so that he could knock her out. So I've seen some people say, what was the point of that? He could have done that the whole time. She probably doesn't get knocked out if she knows the wall is behind her.
She can brace for it.
Yeah. Even if so of course she can't really move her body. She can still mentally know like, oh, there it go. No, it was great. It got it. He did it to get her mind off of everything, to seize her up, just her location. It was smart. It's one of those things in anime I can't actually even poke holes in it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
He used the string for the shadow too. which, as we see going forward, that nigga sure know how to manipulate that damn shadow.
I mean, he's also like the smartest ninja in that class.
This is why I love the first series of Naruto. Some of these abilities are worthless. I swear to God.
But if you know how to use them.
They are just done. And it's like they're given to the perfect character, which, should be because the niggas are made up. But like, if you give this jutsu to, like, say, like, Hinata gets that shit of Naruto, but that shit's worthless, they're dumb. But they're not, Hinata's passive and Naruto's stupid. You're not doing much with that shit. But you gave a jutsu that's kind of worthless to the smartest guy. So, he made it the most dangerous jutsu ever. And so, just getting it off. In theory, just getting it onto somebody is ridiculously stupid. Because nobody's going to stand still and let you do it.
Yeah.
I
think the only, to me, it's supposed to be like a stealth mission kind of thing. It's a stall kind of thing. Like, that's just the obvious ways to use it, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Or you got to be insanely smart.
Or just be in a pitch black room because then he can get you anywhere.
That too. Don't know why they just never let that nigga go out at night.
I think that's when his powers are the most useful, but then that would make the story boring.
Yeah, bro, it's all darkness out here. God damn it. So, like, it works. Like, that stuff works, and I love it. Because I can't... Shikamaru's son is exactly like him, so they gave him the ability. But I just don't see it working on another character.
Well, Shikamaru's dad has the same ability.
And he's the same exact character. They're both insanely... It's already implied, though, that Shikamaru, if not is smarter than his dad, is more, I guess, of a prodigy than his dad. But his dad is still the smartest person of their age group. And I can only clarify that because of, in the war arc, it was Shikamaru's dad leading all the troops. So you can only assume that they respect his intellect so much.
He's just lazy.
You know what they said? Warren Buffett even said, or it was Bill Gates, I'd rather get 10 lazy people to work for me because they're going to find more efficient ways.
It was Bill Gates.
To do the shit. That's a little wink, nod to that. Because they made him lazy. They made all the Nara family lazy. And it's based off of real life. Some people will look at that as just a quirk, something to make the character funny. No, he did that with a reason, with a purpose. I love it.
I never thought of it that way, but that's definitely true.
It's weird because it is the family. You don't think like, oh shit, nigga's dad is exactly like him.
I noticed it, but I was like, well, obviously, because that's part of the story building, and I just chalked it up as like, duh. But
yeah,
I also get, oh yeah.
When he wasn't being rushed, Kishimoto was in his bag writing this story. Rewatching the series, and one of these days, not any day soon, I'm gonna read the manga to completion just to get all the knowledge. But he was in his bag, like all the little small details on the characters, all the quirks, all the stuff they like to do. It makes sense. It's just he thought out his characters well in the early beginning. There's some plot holes, but you only notice that when you watch the shit 6 times.
There's always gonna be plot holes in a storyline. There's no way to plug up every plot hole.
True. So, like, I do respect that. Like, every character I feel like is a real character in Naruto. They got real motivation. They're not just, we're gonna win this bitch for mom.
Not for mom. That's funny.
Like, and I guess it was more evident if you notice. Ken is the bitch that Shikamaru fought is the only person without a backstory. But everybody else gets backstories. Like, you don't see that in other animes. You don't see,
especially not for the B and C tier villains.
For the villains, like Zaku, who Shino face. You didn't need that. Glad we got it, but you don't
need it.
Yeah. So I loved it. This fight is when I know I loved it because we're like 5 fights in. Damn, I like that person. I like that person. Damn, he's interesting. Damn, this is a lot of
good characters.
Good characters. At this point in my anime life back then, Dragon Ball Z, I only liked Goku. I was a kid, but basically I only liked the main characters in anime. And I hated Naruto back then. He was just so whiny. They wrote him to be that way, but he didn't know what the fuck out of me.
But it's one of those things. The older you get, like, oh, he's like this because he doesn't have anybody. This is the only way he can get attention.
Yep. And like, yeah, it makes complete sense. And when he becomes
writing.
When he becomes that nigga, he's less whiny because he has all the attention. But next fight is Naruto. I say we save that for the next episode and we start there.
Yep.
Next episode we'll cover Naruto versus Kiba, Hinata versus Neji. Love that damn fight.
Great fight.
Then Lee versus Guard. Damn, all this shit's back to back.
Yeah.
They really back into this damn tournament.
Oh yeah. It was a slow build, and it was a build.
And then last would be Choji versus Dosu. They went out on a dud with that one.
Yeah.
But any thoughts, reflections on the stuff we talked about?
Naruto's one of the best storylines ever written, I think. Does it have its problems? Of course. But I hope that we show you it's really fucking good and you haven't watched it yet. Watch it.
Oh, for facts. Our words actually don't do justice. Tuning exams, we're not finished yet, but this tournament arc is probably the fourth best tournament arc I've ever seen. Behind the Dark Tournament, World's Martial Arts Tournament, and Dragon Ball Z. And there's one more and I'm missing one. I'm blanking on it. But I'll always put it fourth. Fourth is damn good because there's a tournament in every anime.
Every good anime.
Yeah. And so, we out.
We out.